I creampied my teacher. Myself and a guy that I will call Frank had been charged in juvenile court. There was a widely hated teacher at the school, I will call him Mr. Bible, that Frank and I attended. This teacher was way over the top in trying to catch students doing anything against the rules. He actually sat on the roof of the school and used binoculars to watch for any rule breakers before school. At lunchtime and after school he had caught me smoking that year using the binoculars from the roof. Most of the students hated being in his class because he also had a habit of putting his hand down the back of his pants whenever he was writing on the chalkboard. He was a math teacher, so he wrote on the chalkboard a lot. A couple of weeks before the end of the school year, a group of us were complaining about Mr. Bible. During the discussion, someone came up with the idea that it would be fun to put a pie in Mr. Bible's face. In the last weeks of the school year, that idea was discussed often. Finally, it was decided that we should really do it. Several members of the group volunteered to bring a couple of banana cream pies, and Frank and I volunteered to hit Mr. Bible with them. It was my idea, so I had to volunteer. The last day of school came and our friends had brought the 2 banana cream pies as planned. After the last class, all the students were streaming out of the front door of the school, saying their goodbyes for the summer and waiting for their buses or rides home. Mr. Bible was standing in the middle of the flow of students passing by all around him, trying to keep an eye out for any last-minute rule breakers. On either side of the mass of students, Frank and I each had a pie and put on our ski masks. In the confusion of all the students around, Frank and I were able to sneak up behind Mr. Bible without him noticing. As planned, I put my pie into the back of Mr. Bible's head. When he turned around to look, Frank put his pie into Mr. Bible's face. Frank and I took off running, but Frank had recently gotten out of a back brace that he had worn the entire school year and he fell down. I decided to go back to help Frank up instead of continuing to run, so the school's security officers were able to catch both of us. The police were called and Mr. Bible wanted to press charges against us for assault. We were taken to the police station where our parents were called to come and get us. When our court date came, Frank and I were seated together, with a court advocate, at a table in front of the judge and our parents sitting behind us. Mr. Bible was seated at a table next to us with a lawyer. The lawyer was not even halfway through laying out what had happened before almost everyone in the courtroom, including the judge, was chuckling. The judge then started asking me and Frank questions about what we had done, why we did it and how we planned it. By the time we were finished answering the questions, everyone in the courtroom except Mr. Bible was openly laughing. We were not actually convicted of assault, but the judge ordered that we do 3 days of work detail at the city zoo and that our parents pay for Mr. Bible's dry cleaning bill. We both were also expelled from that high school.